Notice the long list of ingredient differences. 10 artificial dyes in the US version and titanium dioxide. This ingredient is banned in Europe because it can cause DNA damage.
That's food activist Vani Hari, testifying at an American Senate hearing, highlighting, in her own words,
the unethical and hypocritical practices of these companies.
Her key demand:
I want Americans to be treated the same way as citizens in other countries by our own American companies.
how is it that the same products in the US have ingredients that are banned in Europe? How is it that the US FDA is allowing ingredients that the Europeans feel aren't safe for their people? It all starts with how different countries define safe. Take ADA or Azodicarbonamide for example. ADA is a chemical used in bread making. It's used to make bread fluffier.
This is the same chemical they use in yoga mats and shoe rubber. You know when you turn a yoga mat sideways and you see the evenly dispersed air bubbles? Well, they wanted to do the same thing in bread, so it would be the same exact product.
In the US, ADA is allowed in bread up to 45 parts per million. But in Europe, it's completely banned. Why? You see, when heated, ADA breaks down into biurea, semicarbazide, and urethane. Some studies suggest that semicarbazide and urethane might be harmful to humans. The FDA looked at this and said, at these low levels, the risk is negligible and hence ADA is safe to use. The EU regulators said, we are not sure it's 100% safe, so we are not allowing it. Same evidence, different conclusions. But why? It's because the US FDA's principle is safe until proven harmful. They believe this approach fosters innovation and allows new products to reach consumers faster. But the European body, the EFSA, says unsafe until proven safe. They believe in what's called the precautionary principle. Let me show you how powerful this one small difference in philosophy can be. Back in 1958, the US FDA introduced GRAS, or generally recognized as safe. GRAS was intended to streamline approvals for ingredients that were already widely used and considered safe, like vinegar or salt. The idea was to speed up innovation and get new products to the market faster. But here's the catch. Under GRAS, food companies can decide if an additive is safe or not without the FDA's review. They can just gather their own panel of experts, declare it safe, and start using it. And get this, over time, even notifying the FDA has become completely voluntary. Yup, so now food companies can introduce new additives into your food without even telling the FDA. Take a guess, since the year 2000, how many applications has the FDA received for full approval of a new substance? 10. That's it. But during the same time, 766 new food chemicals were added to the food supply. That means 98.7% of new chemicals in the American food system were self-determined as safe by the very companies that make them. In Europe, the burden of proof lies on the companies that want to use a new ingredient. It's their job to prove that this ingredient is absolutely safe. And in the US, everything is assumed to be safe. There is no burden of proof. And hence, out of every 100 new chemicals that enter your food, only about 1 goes through a full FDA approval. What does this mean for you, the consumer? It means that you too need to have a food philosophy. Do you lean more on the US FDA side or on the European Union side? You need to decide and then buy products and brands that align with your approach. Like at The Whole Truth, our philosophy is simple but extreme. We only use farm-made ingredients that human beings have been eating for 100 years. Nothing from a chemistry lab. Do you agree with it? Well, that depends on your whole truth.